Hey everyone, Dev with Crime Hive, and we are doing another video on an active missing person case. As you can see here in the photo, we have 33-year-old Kassanndra Cantrell. This is out of Washington State. She is 33 years old, has been missing since the 25th, the morning of the 25th, and we're going to get into more details, what we've learned from these reports, and really try to create awareness again, because this is somebody that is actively missing. Before I go into all these details, again, this is Dev with Crime Hive. If you like these kind of true crime videos, just be sure to subscribe, and if you do, hit that bell notification so that you can continue to get updates on this case and other cases as well. So let's talk about this here. As you can see here, she's been missing since Tuesday. It was a Tuesday morning, 8:25, that's August 25th, about 8:30 a.m. What we've learned is she drove away from her family's home in Parkland, okay? And she was in a white 2014 Mazda sedan. This is the license plate. Now, not as important right now, and I'll tell you because law enforcement has located this vehicle. A little disturbing. There are some things that we're going to talk about as we go through this. So a few things here about her, just to get her information out there first. She's 33 years old, 5'7", 180 pounds, brown hair, and just to give you a couple other photos just to show what she looks like here. I'm going to pull up another photo, and this is from the Pierce County Sheriff's Department here. So this is another photo of her, and if anyone has seen her or has any information on this case, the Pierce County Sheriff is obviously wanting people to reach out and contact them. So a few things here I want to get into. We know that she was last seen about 8:30 a.m. Okay, and this is according to a neighbor's ring bell. So police had gathered this information from the ring bell, the doorbell, and we've learned that she was supposed to go grocery shopping. Well, law enforcement did comb through those records. No financial transactions whatsoever. She was pretty active on social media. No social media presence since Tuesday. Now, a few disturbing things here that we've learned. She is pregnant. I think that's a really important factor here. She is pregnant. She was due for an ultrasound appointment the next day, so that would have been Wednesday the 26th. Now, she was also, apparently she didn't have any money with her. She did have an EBT card, so a benefits card that she was going to use, but that card has not been used either. So we have her supposedly going grocery shopping. There's no evidence that she did go grocery shopping, and a couple weird things here that we're gonna talk about. So first thing, her vehicle was recovered on Friday, so just a few days ago. Today's Sunday, the 30th. Her vehicle was recovered the 28th, and that was a Friday night. And what her mother has to say about that is also a little disturbing as we go further into it. So I'm going to play this quick little clip here and get the mother's take on what she thinks had happened and what she thinks about her vehicle being discarded essentially in this area here.
That is not a place that she would ever be at. Never. It's just not. There's no reason for her to ever be there. She wouldn't be there. It's not a nice area. You know, it's not a safe area. She wouldn't go there.
Right now, the Pierce County Sheriff's Department is sifting through surveillance video to determine if perhaps she did board a sounder train.
Okay, so a few things about that here, just to give you some context. Again, this is where the vehicle was approximately where it was dropped off. Now, I've heard reports that it was near the Tacoma Dome. Police in the Twitter account actually updated and mentioned that it was, they made a correction. It was found in the 300 block of 25th Street E in the city of Tacoma. So pulling up that area there, you can see it's near these bridges, these underpasses, a lot of different access points here, a lot of different directions this leads to. And apparently, according to Mother, it's not a good area. And so it's near a train station or some sort of transportation. They're wondering if she may have taken some sort of transportation from here, but they're very concerned because they don't think she would ever be in this area. So this is kind of what the area looks like here. And then if you go further down here, you can see the bridges and underpasses here. And this was the general area of where her vehicle was found. So it's that white Mazda, and I'm sure investigators are going to be combing through that evidence. Forensics are going to be on that as well, because this is a very suspicious case. And a couple other things that was interesting. So I pulled up this article here. This one here is KIRO7 or KIRO7, and learned a few other things from this. And I don't know if you've all been following this. This is a very fresh, recent case. Now, apparently, there's a not a boyfriend necessarily. I've been hearing reports that Kassandra had a friend that she became pregnant with this friend, and so it's not her boyfriend. Now, where it gets interesting is this boyfriend or this friend apparently has a girlfriend. So this person is friends with Kassandra, but this same person has a girlfriend, and it mentions it here in this article, and I don't know the name of this individual. Don't even know if this individual is involved or related. But from what I'm gathering, and you guys can comment below on this too, the father of the daughter's unborn child may somehow be involved, is what the mother was concerned about. So she said, and I wouldn't have suspected him if he wasn't the father, said Smith, but he has a girlfriend, so I don't know what that might have triggered, is what she said. So that's very interesting there. And again, not a lot of activity, and it's a little concerning because she was supposed to go to this appointment, doesn't show up, and then nothing. Everything goes cold. No financial transactions, no social media, cars found in a strange area. She hasn't reached out to anyone. Now, they did ping her phone, and there was a location for that. They believe it was last pinged in this area here. So it was at Point Defiance Park. And so just to show you here, you got Tacoma. This right here, right, makes you wonder, why this spot. People thought she had no reason to just flee. She apparently had 2 Chihuahuas, and she apparently loves these Chihuahuas, and she would go everywhere with them. Their family saying that she would just not have up and left on her own. And if she did, for whatever reason, she would have taken these 2 Chihuahuas with her. So, really concerning, again, really concerning information as we learn more, still gathering more. But just to show you this area as well, this is the area where her phone last pinged. So a lot of unanswered questions. And I'm just curious, have any of you found out any additional facts? By the time I post this, there could be more information. We know this. We know that things evolve. And even sometimes the information that I've gathered may not even be completely accurate. We'll find out in a couple days as it evolves. This is the information I've gathered so far. And I'm just hoping that there's a quick resolution to this and that we can find her and that she's safe. Now, let me know your thoughts. Definitely get this information out to as many people as you can. If you're in that area, you may consider keeping an eye out, being more aware, and seeing if you can help investigators in this case. Now, I want to segue as well to another update in another case that I followed for quite some time. And if you're very familiar with Letecia Stauch, she is currently in jail awaiting. We're still wondering, is she going to be charged for the murder of her stepson, Gannon? Now, she recently filed a letter and wrote to a judge and for claiming mistreatment in jail. So I just wanted to give you an update on that and just go through this letter that I located. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I wanted to point out just a few interesting aspects of this. So this was written to Judge Gregory Werner, and this was just on August 12th, 2020. Now, she goes into, and I'll read the first paragraph first. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I want to give you some context on what she expresses in this letter. So she starts out with, "Good afternoon, sir. I thank you for taking the time out to read my letter and my concerns about an unfair process that is going on in my case. I have expressed these concerns several times to my defense team and feel that I have not been afforded my rights as a United States citizen. It has been 5 months, and I've met with my defense team one time in March 2020. It is the middle of August. I understand this pandemic is unforeseen, but I don't feel I should be unconstitutionally denied access to my attorneys, have constitutional rights violated, and be abused in the process. So she goes on to really talk about how she hasn't had much access to her attorney. She's, being unfairly treated during this time while she's in jail. And she mentioned some really interesting things throughout that. So I did highlight a few things. She goes on to express that she's innocent and that she will prove it. She does say that she's been a pillar in my community in South Carolina. Now, she goes on to continue saying, I've proven myself as a responsible citizen. And she mentions over 15 plus times I have been abused in transport, ranging from injured ribs, not on my head, several ankle and wrist bleeding, bruising on my knee and my cell, loss of feeling in my hands several times. And then she makes some other disturbing allegations here. Again, don't know, not in that jail, don't have the direct insight on if any of this is true or not. We know that Letecia's made some interesting claims in the past. She has tried to escape from the same jail that she's writing this letter from. And it's a very bizarre and serious case, as we're talking about a murder charge with a young child. So again, very sad case, got national attention, quite active still through the court process. She then goes on to say, though, that she had to take Ensure for 2 weeks due to the poison comments. And I don't know what she means. You guys can maybe help me out. I don't know if she means Ensure, like she has to take this nutritional shake. I don't know what that means, but she does mention that. And then she says that, and this was really interesting, on 8/11/2020, I received threats in my peanut butter, is what she expresses, because I provided evidence of not only my innocence, but evidence that will show who it was through my PI, which typically means private investigator. So according to her, she may have somebody that's working for her, team of hers. I don't know what's going on with that, but she does mention that. She says, as a result of this, I assume their runners use people in trusted positions in jail to send me threats in my food, and I'm terrified of what will happen next. So really interesting allegations. She goes on to talk about this country and her rights being denied, talks about freedom and different dates in history. Again, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but she does talk about her constitutional rights. Sounds like she's been doing some research in the jail library, or I'm not sure. Sounds like she's been doing some reading though. And she says, "Sir, you can tell I'm educated. I know my Miranda versus Arizona, etc." And she goes on to continue about abuse and things that are happening to her with her attorney-client privilege, and just being denied a lot of basic rights is what she really talks about. She says, my life is on the line. I'm innocent, and I'm ready to return home and use the doctorate degree that I worked diligently for, and cannot do that if I'm not afforded those rights. If I'm fighting for my life daily, I'm clearly no threat to myself. So very interesting letter, and so it's a good 4 pages. I can certainly try to provide a link to this here so you guys can read the entire letter if you'd like. Again, this is Dev with Crime Hive, and I will be back in another video soon. You all take care.